Well, I got a story here about APS trying to take advantage of people.
Yeah, I am a lovable, nice guy because I feel awful for all of the homeowners and renters.
Whoa, I'm going to need you to take take it down a notch here. You're starting to get a little wound up.
Well, APS is just really sticking it to all the people out there. And I feel out there, outside of our walls.
In Radio Land?
Well, I was going to say in the valley, but the story that I believe you're going to reference is a little further north where the trees grow high and they smell of a certain pine.
That sounds like a song.
We should
where the trees grow high and they smell of a pine near Prescott, Arizona.
We're pretty good at this.
I'm a very good singer, too. I'm not going to complete that song, otherwise you have to start paying royalties.
So I'm just going to say that APS sticking it to those folks as well out there.
How could they be sticking? They're trying to give the people in Walker, south of Prescott, south of Prescott Valley, trying to give these people brand new power lines, shiny new power lines, run in and amongst the pine trees.
Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want shiny new power lines blocking their views, cutting down their trees. They want these lines to be underground, and APS says,
Whoa. That does not sound friendly, Joe. That sounds very...
APS is not friendly. They go,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, APS says, of course, they consider three main factors when deciding where to put utility lines.
Oh, go on. Can't wait to hear what
Keep
these
in mind,
are.
This is the company line here.
Yeah.
Safety first.
All right,
course.
safety first. So buried power lines seem like they would be a lot safer than dangling around in pine trees in an area that is kind of known for burning.
No, then reliability and affordability for all customers. Affordability at the bottom of APS's concerns.
Well, it should be. It should be below safety.
Well, and they are claiming that if the lines are exposed, they are easier to access if there are fires and that they can get people back on the grid quicker. That is APS's contention. And you know what?
What is the contention of the people?
The little guy?
Yeah, because it seems like their contention would be something like, we would like to not have our homes burned down.
That is their contention.
Oh, that's interesting. But APS says not a problem.
Burning your home down?
Yeah.
They're maintaining that these lines are over 100 years old, which that first stunned me.
Oh,
Not that I think that's impossible, but in 1925, what lines were being strung?
These.
I understand that, but I'm trying
If
to
you
think.
need any more answers or deep thinking, you let me know.
But why? Why were they stringing lines over 100 years ago? That floors me.
To a remote area.
I mean, you were talking last hour about how your aunt grew up in New River.
Yeah.
And that was, what, 40, 50 years ago?
Yeah, a little more. Yeah, that was way out there.
But this is over 100 years ago. So there was nothing out here in Arizona.
Yeah, and New River was a lot closer to Phoenix, too, than this was. Walker is a very remote area, but as a result of that, it is in an area that is prone to fires. You may remember that there was a fire that happened in these pines that claimed the lives of 19 firefighters. We still have a remembrance every single year for it, right?
Yeah, Granite Mountain Hotshots.
You would think that the people...
Yarnell Hill Fire.
Exactly. You would think that the people in this area would be... Obviously, the owners are very sensitive to the idea of, my God, what if a fire gets out of hand? APS says, don't worry about it. Here's what their quote is. Undergrounding is significantly more expensive than overhead, and we believe that with the advances we've made to our fire mitigation strategies and how we maintain our lines, we can safely operate an overhead line in higher fire risk areas. I want you to mark this quote for the next big fire. Because there will be another big fire in Arizona.
Oh, next year there will be,
and
during fire season.
There will be another big fire that is attributed to APS. It will happen.
Okay.
It's going to happen. So when they say, oh, no, our fire mitigation strategies and how we maintain our lives means we can can safely operate an overhead line, I just want you to, they're setting themselves up for us to go, goobers. No, you can't.
Have there been, I don't know, what fire has been attributed to APS before? I want to believe you're right, but when it comes to the wildfires, I thought most of them in Arizona were traced back to campers, people who were in the valley who, didn't put a fire out, as opposed to the power company.
There's battery explosion fire that they had in Surprise.
So there have been.
Let me see. Large fire. I'm trying to find this. Of course, my Bing and that was a battery fire. Yeah.
The story, as I read it, it breaks my heart because I am with the little guy. I am with the people of Parker who do not want this to happen, and seem willing to even fork over some more money to go underground to save their trees, to preserve their views, to not have to stare at power poles all day.
And to be clear, I'm not even concerned about their views. And I know that they are, and that's property value and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care about their views. I care about places being burned down.
Okay.
And if you take a look at major fires that we've had, you see the fires that PG&E in California started. You take a look at the Eaton fire that happened. We're not even a year removed from the Eaton fire in California. You get the Palisades and the Eaton fire. And the Eaton fire seemed to be caused by SoCal Edison. You take a look at some of the biggest fires that we've had in this country, and they're related to the power companies. Now, I'm glad that APS has got mitigation strategies, and I'm glad that they're working really hard on that, and they've got technologies. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. I don't trust it yet.
I just know when it's people v. APS, the big utility company doesn't lose very often. And even when they feel like it's a loss for them, it's really a bigger loss for the people. Like when they want a 15% rate hike and they get their 8%.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get that other 8% a year or two later. So
you're saying the little guy here is not going to get what they want? We're getting more overhead power lines?
I appreciate that the little guy here is fighting, and they are trying to come up with some solutions. They're saying, hey, there's a number of HOAs across the valley that require utilities to be buried underground. I don't have any coming into my place. You don't have an overhead line going into your house, do you? So not into my house, but the street one behind me does have some overhead lines, but not right into my place.
Do they go to the houses, though? Or are they just running along the street? For instance,
I don't know. I don't think they do.
I Google mapped this thing, and I saw that there are the main lines run on some of the main roads, but then when it gets to the neighborhoods, as the neighborhoods were built, they were burying them in the neighborhoods. So that must be what's going on.
But Yavapai County, they don't have requirements to bury lines, and in this case, it looks like things might be left up to the U.S. Forest Service. The project still needs approval from the Forest Service to move forward because the power lines would cross through the national forest.
All right, so they're going to make sure they get this under the current administration, who's going to be more business-friendly and not as environmentally friendly, and not run the risk of, say, President Newsom saying, no, we're going to be more environmentally friendly and not so business-friendly.
So the Forest Service issued a statement to our TV partner, ABC 15, was very, Forest Service-y, very
We're
drawn up.
weighing the options
Once we have a final draft, all those things, the Forest Service is going to determine what the next steps are going to look like. In the meantime, they say that they continue to coordinate with APS to figure out what this proposal is going to look like. So
it's not getting buried. The APS is going to get whatever they want.
I believe they will.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe, and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.